I don't know why you need an English class, sir. You or Mr. Battisti. You sound fine to me.
Simpatici.
Non sono tanto simpatici quanto sembrano.
He's got a point, hasn't he, sir?
What point?
Well, it must seem like we're going off the brief. We could have spoken to Clark this morning, got it over with.
And fulfilled Clark's expectations. Check out the hotel facts, will you, Lewis?
Why? Battisti's offered us the whole works.
We'll keep our distance from Battisti. We may be forced to show that he's incompetent. He's rather too willing to believe the best of Clark. Seminars for the police, indeed. I'll pick up the car.
C'è qualcosa che voglio che guardi, Claudio. Non ti stufa.
Che c'è?
E io credo che c'è una connessione qui.
Could be a long one, this. I might not make it, love. Yeah, I'm disappointed and all. Is he there? Put him on, will you? Oh, he's gonna make me suffer over this, isn't he?
Datemi il laboratorio forense. Presto.
I burn the past. Why not simply, I burn the money?
They can afford to burn money, this lot. I've seen the testimonials in here. Rock stars, politicians, billionaires.
Mrs. Lawrence's book. Miss Wilcox's jacket.
Her son's jacket's a delinquent son.
Miss Burgess's shawl. And what was Heller's contribution to the cleansing file?
Letter from his Italian girlfriend. It was too timing, apparently. He read it aloud at the encounter session around the bonfire. Got very upset. It's on all the statements. Then probably did a runner back to his wife and kids.
I suppose Clark spent his 3 years inside dreaming all this up.
I'm not allowed to nail Clark for murder, though, see? He's never been violent, has he?
It depends on what you mean. He left a trail of ruined lives. One of his victims committed suicide. You admire the efficiency of our Italian colleagues, don't you, Liz?
They've done pretty much what we'd have done.
Have you checked the numbering of these items?
No, sir.
Try it. I think you'll find there's one missing.
Could have been a mistake, sir. All that burnt stuff must have been hellish getting identification.
But there's one number missing, implying that one more identifiable item was burned. And why did they refuse you permission to cross-check the computer file?
I wasn't refused. They're doing a computer backup. I'll get it in the next couple of days.
I wouldn't bank on that. And what else was burned? We ought to find out. Did you mention a drink, Lewis?
Yeah. Give us a drill again, will you, sir?
Una grappa di prosecco for me and una birra for you, per favore.
Good evening, Chief Inspector. I bet you never thought to hear Nicole Burgess sing again in public. I seem to recall from our discussions that you're a music lover. It's Russell Clark, by the way, in case you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. They weren't discussions, they were interrogations.
She's been doing this recently, impromptu performances, hotels, churches, trying to rebuild her confidence. She came to me last year for help. She worked very hard and came back this year to do a refresher course. And now she's flying all on her own. I'll introduce you.
No.
Well, you will be talking to her and to me, of course.
When I'm ready. I'll speak to you when I'm ready, Mr. Clark.
Sir?
I thought we'd breakfast al fresco, Lewis.
This is the life, fate. All on the taxpayer.
What news from Oxford?
Lawrence's assistant's been talking. He says Lawrence is cagey about some of his business, does bigger deals than he lets on.
Really?
Can you do big deals in books?
Certainly. It's first editions, rare books.
Yeah, well, he's making us a list of Lawrence's business contacts. They'll fax it through to us in the next couple of days.
Here, try one of these, Lewis. They're excellent. The creme is a local speciality. Goes down very well with cappuccino.
Have they got any bacon?
I should apologize, Liz, for leaving so peremptorily last night. I wanted to think.
That's okay, sir. I hung around for Miss Burgess's encore.
Prego, signore.
Potrei portarci della carnicotta, per favore.
Sì, signore.
You listen to Verdi, Lewis?
Is that what it was? Belting voice, anyway.
Yes, she seems to have recovered.
Looked like Clark was taking the credit.
Pause for love. Holiday reading, Lewis?
It's not a holiday, is it? It's what made Lawrence dump on the bonfire. Thought I'd give it a go. Might stop me getting bored.
Come in, Sergeant Lewis. It was good of you to wait. Take some time to mobilize my wife in the mornings.
No bother, sir. Is Mrs. Haynes all right now, sir? We were told she collapsed.
From the shock, yes. Her blood pressure was affected rather seriously. She had a stroke 5 years ago, and after one, there's always the fear of a second.
Well, I haven't come to raise anyone's blood pressure. Just a few routine questions. Keep the coroner happy.
Yes, I understand.
This cassette tape, sir, the one you threw in the fire, it was a radio program, you said?
It was Woman's Hour, Sergeant. An edition my wife missed at home.
Oh, my wife's a fan of Woman's Hour, too. But the tape, sir, you burnt it. Why was that?
Look, do you mind if we continue this elsewhere?
Yeah, sure, if you like.
Oh, Judith. This is Sergeant Lewis.
Really? I have to rest, Sergeant. Doctor's orders.
That's all right, Mrs. Haynes.
Well, we'll leave you to make yourself comfortable.
I'll be back, but I'll go easy with you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You have such a kind face. But really, I've nothing to add to what I told Dr. I.M.T.D.O.T.S in hospital. Absolutely
Judith.
nothing. I can't remember a single detail, except thinking, just as I collapsed, my God. That's May Lawrence nailed to a tree. Crucified.
You mean you recognised her? But I thought you'd never met.
Sorry.
Yes, we did know the Lawrences. Very slightly at Oxford. I had an account at Kenneth's bookshop for a time. In 1986, I accepted a professorship at Edinburgh, my old university. And, well, of course, we didn't see either of them again until quite a shock for me to find May on the Encounter group. And for Judith that night.
You should have said so.
I tried to keep everything simple for my wife's sake.
Did Mrs. Lawrence recognize you when you met?
If she did, she didn't care to acknowledge me. I suffer from severe depression, Sergeant. Have done since Judith became ill. The routine, I suppose. Caring for Judith. Shopping in the morning, nap after lunch. Woman's hour, a walk, tea, bed. There had to be a change.
So you signed up with Russell Clark's organisation?
Yes, I read an article in The Guardian. I insisted that Judith come to Italy with me, but she couldn't face doing the course, so she stayed in the hotel. I burnt the tape, Sergeant, because it symbolized everything that was dragging me down. I'd sooner Judith didn't know.
You didn't burn anything else, did you, beside the tape?
No. No, I didn't.
Why must I be subjected to this? It's all over. I've written to the coroner in Oxford telling him I'm satisfied my wife's death was an accident.
You mentioned threats in court, sir, and repercussions.
I was understandably upset. I didn't know what I was saying.
Your outburst began when the coroner referred to the work of the Selfhood Trust.
Really? And what do you read into that?
I take it your wife was being advised by the Trust director, Mr. Russell Clark. Did you approve?
Well, I neither approved nor disapproved. She talked of clearing the garbage out of her mind. It was her decision.
Is he a friend of yours?
Clark? Well, I hardly know him, except as a fellow member of the English-speaking community. Look, I don't think I can help you any further, Chief Inspector.
You planning to leave, Mr. Lawrence?
In due course. The house is beyond my means now. May's income was never enormous, but it helped pay the rent.
Kenneth! Your wife had great taste, which I am not renowned for, but what the hell? I'll take the lot. We'll settle up tomorrow. Introduce me.
Patty, Chief Inspector Morse. Mrs. Patty Wilcox from Glendale, California.
The great detective who likes to keep us all in suspense. I've seen you around the hotel. When are you going to talk to me?
I can't say, Mrs. Wilcox.
Make it cocktail time. Suite 14, second floor.
Excuse me. Hello, Maureen. Mr. Clark's assistant, I believe. Well, Maureen, it must be 6 years.
Don't start about the past, Morse.
Why not? It's all we have in common. If you don't want to talk, why am I driving you back?
Lesser of two evils. I couldn't stick Miss America another minute.
Yeah, she does seem rather demanding.
Yeah, like the rest of them.
The rest?
Rich loonies.
I thought you were doing well in the world of personal growth. You're listed as a coordinator. Sounds like a step up from, what was it in Oxford? Shop assistant?
I was a qualified beautician.
Oh, yes, yes. And Russell took an interest in your older clients.
I was acquitted, wasn't I? At the time, you said fair enough.
At the time, you were a girl. I didn't expect you to wait for him.
Well, maybe I won't wait that much longer. Do you still drink at the Crown, Morse?
Now and again.
Anyone there still remember me?
You're homesick, Maureen. And you don't believe this Selfhood Trust nonsense?
Pays the rent?
Legally?
Legally. Anyone can put up a brass plate in the psycho business. Listen, Morse. If you've come after Russell over May Lawrence, forget it. He was in the villa when it happened, with me and half a dozen domestics.
I know. How friendly is he with Kenneth Lawrence?
Russell's everybody's friend.
Mr. Lawrence seems very anxious to remove all traces of the deceased. Why?
Maybe he found out about her.
Found out what?
I've got to go.
Found out what?
Nothing. have these. I don't need them.
Come on, Maureen, you owe me a favor. I spoke out for you last time.
All right. May Lawrence was having a fling with someone. One of the men on the course, I don't know who.
How do you know this?
Her room was opposite that weedy little professor's. The night before she died, I had to go and tell him to turn his radio down, or his tape recorder, or whatever. We'd had complaints. When I got up there was someone leaving May's room. I didn't get a good look.
Have you told anyone else? Russell? Battisti?
Nope.
Thanks. If there's anything I can do for you, within reason.
There is, as a matter of fact.
What?
This.
Chief Inspector Morse?
Yes. Miss Burgess.
I'd like to speak to you when you've recovered your breath.
Pausing for love, Lewis?
There's a lot about tearing the fabric of the soul.
That sounds like a motive for murder in itself. Miss Burgess is waiting in her car. She wants to talk to me alone, she says.
Alone?
Yes, so why don't you take it easy? Do a little sightseeing. Some maps and things.
Oh, hang on, sir. I spoke to the Haynes this morning. Turns out they knew the Lawrences in Oxford years ago.
Really? Oh, good work, Lewis. We'll talk about it later.
Sir, where did you get these, sir? Oh, sir.
Hello, Sergeant Lewis.
So, sir, you on duty?
Yes. May I help you?
Well, it's just... I put in a request to take another look at that forensic material tomorrow. Any chance I could bring that forward to this afternoon?
That will be okay. Any item in particular?
No, just general checking.
No problem. Dobbiamo andare, dottore. Allo scopo.
This is an unexpected pleasure, Miss Burgess.
Nicole, if you like. What do I call you?
Morse, just Morse.
Really? Is that what your wife calls you?
I'm not married.
Divorced?
No.
Wise man.
I heard you sing last night.
Oh, how was I? Back on form, would you say? Do you know my form?
I have most of your recordings.
Oh, the palmy days when I made recordings.
You were superb. Better than ever.
Well, then I suppose I have Russell to thank for all that. Russell Clark? Though it's all bullshit, of course, what he does. Expensive.